Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review X-Men 97. I'm a bit behind, but I got 2 episodes to review, that being Life Death Part 2. This is where we finally see Storm unleash her powers, as she's been struggling to go find them. But she's trapped in the haunted house she's in with Forge, and after Forge gets injured from his wounds, it's up to Storm to try to go save him, but she has to confront her own fears. Since she does not fear death, but she gets through this trial where she encounters like this beast thing that like can shapeshift into creepier versions of her fellow X-Men comrades. And she's like trapped in like a coffin, and it must be terrifying for Storm to literally be trapped in this coffin, but she's trying to fight her through what she's going through, and she manages to go with Forge to this like military temple after she realizes it's all a vision, and like she's trying to find her ways to get the resources to heal her friend. But as this is going on, she's attacked by the same creature, and she manages to fight strong as there's a storm coming. And by miracle, Storm is able to get her powers back. I know this ain't the part of the episode at first, but like we'll get to the second part of this episode at first. But anyway, Storm does get her powers, and she actually changes her costumes, and it shows how much willpower Storm has, which is really good. And dang, her costume looks amazing. Like, it's so comic accurate, and how we usually see Storm, and she's got that tiara, she's got the black and yellow outfit. Like, you definitely feel the comic accurateness and into her, and she's able to heal her friend Forge after he was wounded from, I think, this episode or last. But something comes up as Storm is watching TV. She gets a news report of what happened the last episode, and she is devastated by it. And that's where we last see Storm. We haven't seen Storm in the next episode, but this part was really good because it shows how strong of a fighter Storm is, and she was willing to get her powers back. So yeah, I probably give that part really, like, this part of the episode like an 8 out of 10. But like the next part of this episode is the side plot where the picture already spoils it, but like we get a big battle in space with Queen Leviathan, I think her name is. We see the return of her and her people. She was the love interest for Charles Xavier, and it looks like they're at war with Ronan, and we see the character Galadriel, the guy who basically has Superman-like powers. And it's revealed who their new king is going to be. That is going to be revealed to be Charles Xavier himself. So I was shocked to learn that he is alive. And the guy who plays him, I think he sounds exactly how he did in the 90s show itself. And it makes me have a lot of questions. Was he really killed by Trask, or was he injured and then taken to this planet? And he's somehow still able to walk, but like he's using like this device to help him walk, and he is given a choice. He can either get his mind wiped and his powers so he can be with Queen Leviathan, or he'll be sent back to Earth. He refuses, and he does try to teach his fellow friends a lesson or something. Like, he goes into their mind, and he's wearing his professor outfit, and he's trying to teach them how his mind works, and he's hesitant. Like, I honestly was wondering if Charles was gonna have his mind get wiped, because, I don't know, he means something to the X-Men. He also means something to his love interest, too. But he decided that he must come back after getting a head seizure or something. He gets like a vision of what happened to Gambit. So Charles realizes what his place is meant to be with his fellow mutant friends, family, and he must come back immediately after learning what has happened in his mind. And that's this episode. So yeah, this episode was really good. It was like it like explores Storm really well, and adds a shocking return of Charles Xavier, and we do see like the space side of like I guess that universe of Marvel. We also see Ronan, which was cool. So yeah, the next episode is this is where it's like the aftermath of what happened last episode. It's where Gambit gets his funeral. And it's very sad for our fellow characters. Like, they're grieving their own ways. And even Nightcrawler's, like, the pastor there to, like, the priest. I don't know how religion works for him, but he's Catholic. But he like, gives the speech about the life Gambit had. But, surprisingly, Rogue was not at the funeral. And even Jubilee questions that. And during this whole episode, Rogue is searching for her lover's killer, looking for Trask, who created that big sentinel from last episode, and we're starting to learn about the other mutants that have died. A bunch of characters that were in some episodes of X-Men, even Jean Grey's clone died. They even mentioned it with Cyclops, who's also grieving in his own way. And like Jean Grey and him are like talking things through, which was nice. And Cyclops actually cries despite him always having laser beams come out of his razors. And it shows how much impact mutants want to have on this world. And they're trying to fight back against discrimination. It shows how impactful it is. But Rogue encounters someone very familiar. That being Captain America himself. So I wasn't expecting to see Cap and other superheroes in this. People really want to see Spider-Man in this show. I really do too. But this is like a nice start. We even get a reference to the Hulk. I don't know if it's the same Hulk from that show that came out in the 90s. But to see Cap was really cool. And Rogue ends up throwing his shield after he couldn't really help her. And it makes me question the continuity. Because if you don't know, in Spider-Man the Animated Series, Cap was literally trapped in a vortex with like Red Skull, but then in Secret Wars, Spider-Man was able to get him out of his little vortex, and he managed to like be sent home. So that's what I assume the continuity is, since the continuity in the 90s universe of these shows is a bit confusing, but that's another topic. But Cap doesn't help, and Rogue ends up throwing his shield, which was badass. But while this is all going on, Rogue finds her way towards Trask's other friend. The other guy with the ponytail. I forget his name. I'm sorry. But she ends up questioning him, and she actually puts him in a coma for a bit because she touched him. She wants revenge. And Rogue ends up actually breaking down. And Nightcrawler comes in and actually hugs Rogue. And by the way, Nightcrawler's in the intro now, which was sad because it's replacing Gambit. But all her friends show up to comfort her, which shows that the X-Men are true friends. And I think they're on their next move as they find Trask. After finding some intel, and they managed to find him in Japan, or some kind of Japan-like place. And it's revealed that Trask is a Sentinel, like, zombie. And Rogue manages to, she actually threw him down. And they're actually questioning her, like saying, like, is this how we want to be represented? But it turns out it's revealed he's a zombie, and I think they managed to take him down in this epic fight. But they're interrupted by Cable, who tells them their next move. And that's this episode. So, yeah, this episode is really good. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention, it's mentioned in this episode that most of the other mutants died, and it was sad to learn. But Magneto is revealed to be alive, as there's also revealed to be some sort of clone of Magneto. I think it's going to be the character Atrocitus or something. It's like a Magneto, clone or something, and he is actually torturing Magneto. It's kind of odd scene for sure, and I was surprised when they decided to kill Magneto up, but we know he ain't gonna stay dead, so he's revealed to be alive this whole time. So that's this episode. This was definitely this X-Men show is really consistent and explores dark themes, which makes this show really fresh to watch. I really hope the X-Men get all united as they're trying to fight against the Sentinels after what happened to Gambit. So this episode's like a 9 out of 10 for me. So I can't wait for the next few episodes. So that being said, thanks for watching, and X-Men Unite.